How's it going, folks? Thanks for tuning in to the Fantasy Zone. And today I'm going to be talking about Fire and Ice. It's a 1983 animated sword and sorcery movie that was directed and animated by Bakshi. And, you know, 1983 was huge for the sword and sorcery genre because the year prior to 1983 was 1982 when Conan the Barbarian came out. And there's just all sorts of craze going on and everything, pretty much from the toys and the cartoons with He-Man and Dungeons and Dragons, and you also had like video games like Dragon's Lair. And if you look at a lot of the metal, you look at a lot of like metal bands were starting up, and they had the sword and sorcery thing going on with, you know, Iron Maiden, Saxon, Man of War, Dio, just everything was very fantasy themed at the time. And you had Conan, you had Crawl, you had, you know, Dungeons and Dragons. It was just really fantasy themed stuff going on at the time. And around that time, Fire and Ice came out. For those of you who don't know Ralph Bakshi, he was he started in the early 70s, and he did Fritz the Cat. And Fritz the Cat was this like crazy, you know, non-Disney cartoon with, you know, the animals smoking weed and having sex. It was just like the craziest animated movie you could think of. 1972, it was just wild. And then he came out with Coonskin, which was like this like racial depiction of like how racism was going on in like the early 70s, and it's still just as bad as it was then than it is now. He went and made his own footage, which was different from Wizards because he just used old World War II footage. This time, he got live actors, directed the live actors, then after the live actors, he rotoscoped over the live actors so it looked more fluid, more human, and it looked cool the way he did it with the live actors, and it was different than the way they do it with the other cartoons, because with other cartoons, it's just all drawn, but this made it look like the cartoons were alive. It was different. It was very revolutionary the way he did it. And when it was all said and done, Fire and Ice did get kind of panned because it did have this kind of like adult theme, but they were selling it to kids, and it wasn't as kid friendly as they hoped it to be. But for what it is, it's definitely a worthy addition to the sword and sorcery genre. Alright, so what I'm reading here is back in 2010, Robert Rodríguez actually bought the license to Fire and Ice, and he was going to make his own live-action version of Fire and Ice. And it's been 6 years, he hasn't touched it, which is too bad. And I think he should go ahead and make the Fire and Ice movie. And I've actually come up with my own actress who should be in the movie. Alright, so for Nick Ron, the villain of the movie, we should get a guy that's kind of like Joffrey from Game of Thrones, and a little bit of sleaziness from like Joaquin Phoenix in Gladiator. And I think the guy to do that is Kyle Gallner from Nightmare on Elm Street and Red State. I think he's got that mixer that you could use him for. He's got that look. And for his mother, the Ice Queen, Queen Juliana, you gotta go with Eva Green. I think she's got even though she's not doesn't seem like she's got mature. Well, she could be younger, but you could just give her some gray hair strands and she'd be a perfect witch bitch. Eva Green would be perfect for that part. And then for the good guys, you got Dark Wolf, considering, Robert Rodriguez, who's his most badass character, Machete, Danny Trejo, has to be Dark Wolf. Hands down, Danny Trejo's gotta be Dark Wolf. For Warren, would be Jai Courtney. And I think Jai Courtney, a lot of people are like, oh, why does he keep starring? I think he's kind of underrated, and I think he'd be perfect for that, kind of hero. And for Princess Tigra, I'd go with Amber Heard. And yeah, I mean, it's been 6 years, but I don't know if he's gonna make it. But that'd be cool as hell if Robert Rodriguez did make it a live action. And that concludes this episode.